Naruto is one of the most successful anime and manga of all time. The key factor in Naruto's success is the complex and relatable characters. Naruto Uzumaki himself, as the main character, represents many people who feel alienated and have big dreams. Naruto's journey to fulfill his dream of becoming a Hokage is full of twists and turns, coupled with the emotional relationship between Naruto and his friends, successfully creating a strong connection with readers and viewers. The quality of the story and character development are the main attractions that make Naruto so great. Maybe some people ask who is the author of this great story? For fans, the answer is definitely Masashi Kishimoto. Is that really the truth? Because of that question, this discussion was born. Is Masashi Kishimoto may not true author Naruto? To answer this question, let's start with a background of Masashi Kishimoto. Masashi Kishimoto was born on November 8, 1974, in Nakano, Okayama Prefecture. Masashi Kishimoto shows an interest in the world of manga. From various interview sources, he was inspired by many famous manga such as Blade Immortal, Rurouni Kenshin, Akira, Dragon Ball, etc. Masashi Kishimoto's first successful manga was Karakuri, which he submitted to Shueisha in 1995. This earned him the A Hop Step Award in Shueisha's monthly magazine in 1996. The award was given to promising newcomer manga artists. After Karakuri, there were several manga by Masashi Kishimoto such as Michikusa, Asian Punk, Yakuo, Magic Mushroom and Mario, but all of them failed to serialization. Until September 1999, the serial version of Naruto was first published in Weekly Shonen Jump 1999 number 43 quickly became a hit. The manga ended on November 10, 2014, after more than 15 years of serialization, with a total of 700 chapters collected in 72 volumes. Its sales have reached hundreds of millions of copies worldwide. Naruto's success make Masashi Kishimoto's name very famous. Suddenly, one day I found a strange article say that Masashi Kishimoto is not the true author of Naruto. The person who is considered the true author of Naruto is Kosuke Yahagi, editor of Naruto manga. I found article on a website called Namawiki which talk about Kosuke Yahagi. I think maybe this is just a fan joke. However, there are some facts that seem to justify this opinion. There is a part in article that states that if Kosuke Yahagi was not the editor of Masashi Kishimoto, Naruto would only last 2 to 3 volumes. There is also a part that states that since Kosuke Yahagi stopped being an editor, Naruto's story has received a lot of criticism. Although in his interview from another source Kosuke Yahagi is sure that Masashi Kishimoto can continue his story with a new editor. However, if examined further, Kosuke Yahagi's role does seem very big to Naruto manga. There are some parts of Naruto that seem to be made by Kosuke Yahagi himself. As if from the concept level Kosuke Yahagi had directed it. Kosuke Yahagi himself is a pretty great editor. In addition to being a Naruto editor, he is also the editor of Hunter x Hunter. After more than 9 years as a Naruto editor, he finally stopped in 2008. He continued to be a deputy editor. Then, he was appointed editor-in-chief for the monthly magazine Jump SQ. Since 2021, he has worked in Shueisha's third editorial department. Fun fact, Kosuke Yahagi's character is used as a reference in Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. If you see a bald man with sunglasses, that's him. There is a lot of information indirectly showing Kosuke Yahagi's big role in Naruto from various articles and interviews. Initially, Masashi Kishimoto wanted to give up writing shonen and wanted to write seinen manga. However, the editor wanted Masashi to give the shonen another chance. That opportunity was what finally gave birth to Naruto. The initial concept of Naruto was not the concept that Masashi Kishimoto wanted. Initially, Naruto's story was actually the story of an ordinary person who ate ramen. Concepts were replaced until it became the Naruto we know today. Zabuza was originally planned to be named Momotaro. However, it was changed by Kosuke Yahagi to Zabuza, but the name Momo was retained so that it became Momochi Zabuza. The fight with Zabuza also introduced the first concept of a mission outside the village. The initial design was that Naruto was the fox Kurama himself. Plus the concept of teachers and Hokage was planned as animal forms. However, the concept was cancelled at the suggestion of Kosuke Yahagi. Initially, Haku was also planned as a bear. Kosuke Yahagi gave Masashi Kishimoto advice to give Naruto a rival who appeared at the beginning of the story. A really interesting concept and still new at that time. This not only influenced Naruto, but other manga also used the same concepts such as Boku Hero Academia and Black Clover. Masashi Kishimoto's concept divides techniques or jutsu into unnamed and named ones. Unnamed jutsu held as a regular attack. Kosuke Yahagi suggested that all jutsu be named without exception, making it cooler. The concept of the Chunin exam was planned as a regular test by Masashi Kishimoto. However, the Chunin exam was made similar to a battle royale, making other characters appear one by one. This concept is also more interesting. All of these things illustrate the big role of Kosuke Yahagi. Because his role is so big, the role of Masashi Kishimoto as the author of Naruto is questioned. This has become a big problem, especially after the publication of the Samurai 8 manga. Masashi Kishimoto's work, which is considered by many fans to be a failed work. The manga was immediately discontinued quickly. Only 5 volumes were published from May 13, 2019 to March 23, 2020. Various negative responses related to the Samurai 8 manga. Many people blamed it because the Samurai 8 manga was released without using an editor. Plus, Masashi Kishimoto only played a role as an author, not an illustrator. People began to question Masashi Kishimoto's ability to write, especially without an editor. Some fan criticisms in several media and forums about Samurai 8 include world building that seems forced to appear at the beginning. Some parts of the plot feel rushed. The development of characters to become strong is too fast. Magic power or power system is also sometimes confusing. Fan expectations were shattered and many were disappointed. Especially comparing directly to Naruto's success. However, the problem was not resolved. Around August 2024, Masashi Kishimoto was reported to be publishing a new manga. There is no clear news about the manga, but I personally feel very worried that the results will end badly. Finally, see you in the next discussion, and I apologize for my bad English.